Hello, Internet. Welcome to a very special episode of Cocktails and Curveballs. This is our Memorial Day weekend episode. As you guys know, we always start this off with a huge thank you to our men and women in the military, past, present. Thank you guys for everything you do. But a weekend like this, I think that message hopefully hits a little bit deeper. I hope before everybody's into their fourth hot dog, second hamburger, eighth beer, that they remember what this weekend's really about, and a remembrance of the ultimate sacrifice that these men and women have made. So on that note, thank you, our men and women in blue, all our first responders. Don't ever want to leave you guys out. Thank you so much. Fucking A, boys. How about her, huh? Anybody drinking anything fun?
I got one. I got one, Jimmy. This one, and I hate to say it, boys. After last night, this is hair of the dog, man, and it's well deserved, well needed. This is a Centennial IPA from Flathead Lake Brewing Company. It's up in Big Fork, Montana, right on Flathead Lake. Great brewery. This puppy 7.3, and I'm hoping it's going to bring me back to life. So that's what I'm drinking, gentlemen.
All right, Thriller style, nice.
Well,
Jim, what's up, man?
I'm going getting a little crazy with myself and going with some Dos Equis salt and lime. I don't know, saw it this morning and thought, give that a shot. Now, it's not Papa Bear's Coors Light, I'll guarantee you that, but not terribly bad, kind of refreshing.
Majestic Lion branching out. I like it.
Yeah, that's weird. We're gonna see how this goes.
No kidding.
Pat, you into anything fun this morning?
Yeah, something a little different. Something I never had. It's pretty good. It's called the Copper Can Blackberry Mule. It's got craft vodka, ginger beer, lime juice, and blackberry juice in it. Pretty tasty.
Nice.
Where the hell did you find that?
Well, here's the deal. I'm actually at a hotel right now with my boys and my girlfriend. We took into Billings, the biggest indoor water park. It's called the Reef. So they're down there swimming at the big slides, and I can't even tell you all the things this thing has indoor water park. But I went down to the front desk and happened to see one of these up on the shelf and thought, okay, I'll partake. I'll give it a whirl.
And they said, sir, you know what time it is, right?
And I said, you're right, give me 4. Make it 5.
Yeah. I got to get through this day, man.
Yeah.
Oh, your kids are going to love the Reef, man. It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Right on. So, hey, Jim, I know you want to get us going, right? You got, you missed out on the John Morant issue, if that's what we want to call it. The things that are going on with that guy. Let's hear it, man.
So, knee-jerk reaction. First thing I thought of was, come on, man, grow up. You're worth all these millions of dollars. Get it together. Unbelievable talent, first off, he is. And then I started listening a little bit more, and there were some people that are making a little bit of sense, and this ideology is starting to pick up a little traction. Like, so what did he really do that's illegal? Now, I understand contracts have clauses in them. And I understand that the NBA has their own code of conduct. And I understand all that. But are we to the point to where if you don't like something, then it's against that code of conduct? Or does there have to be some legal standing behind it? Because quite frankly, in the state of Tennessee, where I believe is where he was at with the second incident, the first incident was in Denver. Listen, he was in a bar around alcohol with it, but he served his suspension for that. He did the time for his crime, man. But the second one was in a car. Yeah, stupid on Instagram Live, I get it. But what did he do that is illegal? So I'm not necessarily on board with this argument, but it does raise some questions about what did he do?
So from
terrible judgment.
Yeah.
But what did he do?
From the legal standpoint is what you're getting at. I mean,
The-
yeah, morally
legal-
and ethically and some of that kind of stuff, right? I think we're pretty much all on the same page that like that not smart. If
Right.
nothing else, not smart. But yeah, from a legality standpoint, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean,
Well, now, one really quick nugget. I don't know if you guys are aware. I know me and Ty touched on it that night. We brought this up. He is being sued by a 17-year-old because they got in an altercation playing basketball at a I don't know, some playground hoops right near where John Morant lives. John Morant, they got in a fisticuffs, and he went in and grabbed a gun and threatened the kid with a gun, and it's in litigation now. So the kid's suing John Morant. I mean, I wasn't there, and I know there's two sides to every coin, but those are pretty bad optics. I mean,
that
that's
looks really
it's
bad
terrible.
because John Morant's a professional
I mean,
athlete. What's he need a gun
right.
for with a 17-year-old kid to start
right.
with?
Why,
Unless that
why
kid
are
looked
you-
like Debo.
what's the bragging rights there, man? What, I dunked over a 17-year-old kid? Okay, you're in the NBA, dude. I mean,
Oh yeah, but LeBron came out at 17. This 17-year-old could have been a badass player.
That's a good
Hey,
point. Yeah.
be
I
that as it
mean,
may,
why?
be that as it may, but you know why it wouldn't even be bragging rights? Because we're talking about him being a 17-year-old kid. He's not in the NBA. He's nobody that anybody really knows. So you're John at a 17-year-old kid that nobody's ever heard of. I'm sure he is impressive to be playing basketball. John Morant, he probably can play his ass off, but he's a 17-year-old kid. Really?
You know, poor judgment leads to prosecution. I get that. It leads to unlawful acts. I get that. But it's not, poor judgment in itself isn't against the law.
Thank
agree.
God.
But see,
This is a
the
group of
legal-
guys that
Thank
thank
God.
God poor judgment is not against the law.
no shit,
yeah,
we'd all be
Woo!
arrested.
Dodge the bullet there.
Hey, real quick,
Wouldn't
Dodge
be
the
doing some
bullet there.
time.
Take me in,
Yeah. Be doing
the
some time.
legality part will come out, but don't you think with the NBA, the NFL, that within those huge multi-billion-dollar organizations, they kind of have their own rules
They
for
do.
their players, expectations that they don't really talk about, put out there. I mean, hell, you get on the bad side of the commissioner, well, hell, guess what? Your suspensions might be bigger and longer. And I mean, these are things we're not going to know. But, you know, now that you brought up Ja, I think we've kind of hit that one through, boys. I kind of want to talk about the NBA Finals, man, that last game. So, Jim, this is where I want to talk to you, because we had an episode, we talked about who we were picking to win. And you said, and I quote, if the Celtics go 7, they're going to win it. Well, guess what? They were down 3-0 against the Heat, the 8th seed, the Heat, and
Amazing.
they just rattled off 3. Now, the first 2 were the 2 wins they got were very convincing. The last one last night with 0.1 seconds left. And you know what? TNT, you suck, man. I mean, they had posted 104-103 Heat win series 4-2. And I'm like, whoa, there's, and the Celtics are celebrating, and this is on TNT, man. And I'm like,
Right.
what are you doing? And then they review it, and they're like, it was undeniable. It was a good shot. It was off before the buzzer. And I was like, wow. So are you going to stick with that now that the Celtics are going 7? I didn't think the Celtics would win it, man.
I am. I'm gonna stay with the Celtics, and you know, and my thought was originally is of course Lakers Celtics is what we're gonna see, but I'm getting off that bandwagon, guys. This whole rig bullshit. I would just want to enjoy my sports. Okay, I don't want to worry about that anymore. And last night's game, quite frankly, is what did it. You know, the way that game ended. Listen, there's no script. There's no way that could be scripted the way it ended.
No, because
now,
who would have
now we
scripted
gotta
Derek
go-
White making it?
right. So now we got to go right. Derek White, that's right, who played his ass off last night on Jimmy Butler.
Damn right. Damn right.
So, but you know, the Celtics just have that firepower, man. I mean, when you think of the guys that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, we both know about those two. Okay, they're superstars, bona fide superstars in the NBA. But
Marcus Smart, man.
they're guys, yeah, they're guys around them, Smart and Al Horford, and you know, Derek White all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and just D's up on Jimmy Butler last night. Now they go back to
Gross.
Boston.
He did what to him?
Deed up.
Is that
define
legal?
that.
Is that legal?
Sounds like it.
It is
Sounds
the
a little
NBA.
suspicious.
God knows
I
what's
think
legal and
he
illegal
meant
anymore.
he played stellar defense.
He played
Did
stellar
defense.
defense.
is what
Defense.
I was
D is for
thinking.
defense. Of course it is. Right,
Yes,
right,
okay,
right.
okay. So it's good that we cleared that up, just in case anybody was
Yeah.
not.
I was
clear
gonna
on that.
D
now
is
we're going,
great.
but now we're going back to Boston again with all this firepower at home in the Garden. Yeah,
and
I'm
I
gonna
think
stand by
that's the kicker because they are Game 7's in Boston. So, and I'm sorry, Boston didn't have the best record at home this season, but you know what? I think that hometown crowd is going to help them a ton. I don't know, man. I hope they do.
I'm really kind of curious as to what the mindset of the Miami Heat are. I mean, how do you gather up the confidence? I mean, you at one point in time, this is why when you have a team down 3-0, man, you don't fuck around. You just put them away. This is what happens. You know, Yankees had the Boston Red Sox, and it's really, isn't it funny? It was the Boston Red Sox in baseball that did this. But Yankees had the Boston Red Sox down 3-0, and all the Red Sox did was win 4 straight against the Yankees and then 4 straight against the Cardinals, 8 straight games to win the World Series. And I'm not saying that the Celtics are going to do that. They might, but amazing that they had this Boston Celtics team down 3-0 on life support. And you got to think going into Game 7, it's all Boston, right? Like there's no momentum for the Heat. I mean, where do you go? You just got smoked 3 games in a row. How do you pick up the pieces? It's interesting.
And last night, even though they only got beat by 1 last night, it was a punch, man. I mean, it was they got punched right in the gut.
Well,
Miami.
and even
3
though you
games in a
think
row.
right, it's 3-3 now. So you're like, okay, they won 3-1. It's been a while since the Heat have won a game in this series.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah,
Basketball playoffs series take forever. It's been well over a week, right?
Yeah.
Since the Heat have won a game.
Yeah.
About a week.
And what Pat touched on is huge. These teams, man, you go up 3-0, do what the Florida Panthers did in the NHL. Win. Put them to sleep,
Close
man.
it the fuck out.
Because you give them any momentum, this is what's happened with the Celtics, and the 2 wins they had were convincing last night. I think they just, I don't know, man. Derek White on Jimmy Butler, and Jim, you hit it. He was spectacular. And Jimmy Butler's a stud. But again, now they're going home. So now the Heat, where's your mindset? Oh, we had another chance to close it out. Now we have to get on a plane and go to Boston.
And remember what we talked about. Remember what we talked about with like the Sixers and Doc Rivers getting fired and stuff. Remember what we talked about the big players in Game 7. Okay, who's going to show up? I mean, do you trust Jimmy Butler and that? I trust Jimmy Butler.
He's a fucking dog.
Do you trust the other, I guess, quote unquote stars on that team, opposed to trusting a Jason Tatum and a Jaylen Brown, the smart kid and Al Horford? I just think that the Game 7, the big players, the guys that are going to show up, is advantage Boston.
Well, let's look at the devil's advocate on all that. Okay, let's look at the other flip of the coin, the other side of the coin. But Miami was up 3-0. So what happened in those first 3 games? I want to know. I want your guys' opinion. So the first 3 games, was that overwhelmingly Miami just playing well and Jimmy Butler being a dog, or was it Boston just playing like shit? And has that tide turned? Has Miami now started playing like shit and Boston's playing well? I mean, something had to happen for Miami to go up 3-0. And at that point in time, when they're up 3-0, the whole world was going after Boston. How they built the team wrong, how they misjudged their talent, and now everything's changed. So the first 3 games, was it all Miami and Boston just wasn't playing well? What was it?
I think you hit on just about everything that it could have been. Boston didn't play well. They couldn't find an answer for Jimmy Butler. They couldn't find an answer for Bam Adebayo. And I think they have, but I also think them big guys, I mean, look at what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum did last night. Jason Tatum had another 30+ point game.
Point game,
Jaylen
31.
Brown
Yep.
was right there around 30. The big players showed up, and I think they have the last 3 games. And I think that's the difference right now is your big guys, your all-stars are showing up.
And I think in the first 3 games that the Boston, they just weren't gelling. If you watch them, and I'm a Celtics fan, man, and I didn't pick them to come out of this. When they went down 3-0, I didn't pick them to win it. I was like, there's no way, because, and it was Jimmy Butler was the reason. The guy's insane. But I think now they've got a better shot than I thought they would have ever had. And I just want to bring it up because Jim called it out last time about if it goes 7, the Celtics are going to win. So we're about to find out Monday night, boys.
So in your opinion, you think Boston adjusted to what was going on and Miami has yet to adjust back? Is that kind of the consensus?
Well, yeah, kind of, but I just think that the big guys, listen, Jason Tatum, the first 3 games didn't have that great guy, and Jaylen Brown sure as hell didn't. You know, those 2 on the same page, dude, there's 60 points right there. And how many assists? Jaylen Brown had how many rebounds last night? Jaylen Brown, not that guy, but he was double figures in rebounds last night. You know, I just think the big guys are showing up. That's all. I don't think it's anything necessarily Miami's doing. I think maybe Boston found an answer to Jimmy Butler with Derek White, because Grant Williams wasn't doing it. You know,
Derek White played his ass off, and Jimmy Butler, who the hell would want to guard that guy? I mean, come on. And Tyler hit on it. You get Butler in the playoffs, he's a different player.
Yeah.
Is he going to show up game 7?
Oh yeah.
I have probably.
No doubt. I have no doubt about that.
If he's not there, Celtics run away with it.
I mean, you
that
could
is
argue,
a hot take.
Okay, but you can argue that Jimmy Butler, okay, he's going to get his 25 regardless, but in order to win on this big of a stage against this kind of a team, they're going to need 110% of Jimmy Butler in game 7. Like, he's going to have to just say, you know what? I'm not losing this fucking game.
That's right. And I honestly think that will be his mindset. He's just that guy, man. I love him. He is just, you know, all the talking and stuff that he does. But if there's one guy in the NBA that walks it like he talks it, it's Jimmy Butler. And so he will have that mindset. I will guarantee you he's already got it.
So real quick, since
it's going to have to be whoever supports him.
Since we are hot on the basketball take, if we were in game 7, the 4 of us, if we were players 6, 7, 8, 9 on either the Celtics or the Heat, they let all 4 of us suit up and play on the court. Do any of us score a point? And I'm talking, they're playing their 5-on-5 game, and us 4 are just trying to get open for a shot. Do we score 1 point?
No.
Not a chance, man. Not a chance.
So basically, we're playing 9 on 5.
No.
Basically, what I'm getting at is we're playing 9 on 5. The 4 of us combined for 0 points. Maybe a rebound. Maybe a rebound because they're just by numbers.
They might pull a Caitlin. They might pull a.
You think we get a point, Pat?
All right, I'm flopping like a bitch in the paint, and I'm gonna make one of my 2 free throws. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm flopping. I'm gonna punch myself in the mouth, come up bleeding, and be like, I don't get a call on that. I'm gonna go to the charity stripe, and I'm gonna sink 1. So
I guess if you took like 8 players and put them in a circle, like circling the wagons, and just handed me the ball and gave me an open shot, I might have an opportunity to score something.
I mean,
there is the Caitlin Clark thing where everybody just says, you know what, dude, shoot it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, shoot it.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, maybe
who knows?
We would get open looks.
Yeah.
I feel like I get a lot of them. Yeah.
From half court, yeah.
So we might get an open look, but is anybody going to pass to us? That's really like, is anybody going to be like, you know, Patrick's open, fuck that, just hit the screen. And
those guys would go,
yeah,
that guy's open-ish, I think.
They would look at us and say, you guys are from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, right?
How many times would we be able as a group to get up and down the court?
The whole game or just the first half?
Call it a quarter.
A quarter.
They let us play for a quarter in a fucking actual NBA game as the 6th through 9th players on the court.
Can I take the beer guy in?
You don't understand. It's like five.
If
of my
you're doing that though,
one of
you're
theirs.
running end to end. I think I'm a 3-and-D guy, so I only have to run 3-point line to 3-point line.
Oh, no,
If you're guarding
Shaq.
somebody down low, now you're going fucking end to end.
I would be
That'll
on
wear
the
on you.
slowest jog, and I would just go back and forth and hope someone fed me the ball.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
exactly
think it
how
would
that's
be
going
good.
down.
It
I
wouldn't
mean,
be
I
good.
would
So, hey,
I would
hold
really
on.
get after it, but I think I would come up limp on a twisted ankle, whether or not I actually
What?
twisted
Okay,
it.
so better question. What are the chances all four of us make it through an entire quarter? Slim.
Not all four of us. You three maybe, but no.
No.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I could.
No.
I don't know. I don't think
Listen,
I could
it's
do it.
five. I got to take 5 steps for one of theirs.
The old gray Mary ain't what she used to be.
No,
So
Nah.
absolutely not.
So a big
Well, technically, I only run in emergencies anyway, so I don't know that I would be doing it on the court.
like an actual emergency too.
yeah, pretty.
So a big one, a big story that I saw this week was I'd love to get your guys' take on one, what happened, two, what's gonna happen, and how much of an impact I think that this potentially could make. And that's DeAndre Hopkins
Oh,
getting released. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the contract, right? 100%. It's the contract. That's a lot of money that the Cardinals, who I don't think have enough talent to be that good this year. You know,
but he's
couldn't
lost
find
a
it. Couldn't
step.
find it.
He's lost a step.
But
These
he
last
is
two
still
seasons, he's-
something special. I mean, a DeAndre Hopkins losing a step is still a number one on a lot of NFL teams.
Is he though?
I think so.
Yeah. I think
I mean,
so.
I would say he's you know, he's still going to get you 1,000, but I don't think he's the game breaker. I don't think. I mean, if you compliment him on a team that's already got a number one, yeah, I think he could catch 1,200 yards all day long. But that's, I think, if you put him on a team and expect him to be what he's been,
Sure.
I think you're making a mistake.
And maybe that
think-
was the issue, right? Maybe that was the issue that the Cardinals thought, we can't pay this guy this kind of money to
Right.
be
I think his
a
role is going to be
1B at
as.
best.
I think his role is going to be as a number two, a very high paid and amazing number two. But his numbers the last 2 seasons have dropped considerably. But he's still a target. And if you have a true number one that's going to pull that double team, Hopkins is he potentially could get a ton of
That's
balls
what I'm
thrown to
saying.
him, and
And he
it
doesn't
could
drop the
revitalize
ball.
his career. Yeah, depending on where he
That's what I was
goes.
just going to say. He's got the best hands in the league, guys. So here's the thing. Yes, his numbers have fallen awfully. I agree with you 100%. Kyler Murray's been hurt, and he's been getting the ball thrown to him by Colt McCoy and whoever else. Okay,
Grace
that's gonna
McSorley,
impact-
I think, was there. He missed the first 6 games of this last season.
Yeah, and so I think, you kind of gotta add that in too. But listen, man, D-Hop, you look around the league at some number ones, a lot of number ones, and a lot of the rookies that are coming in trying to be number ones and stuff. Are you telling me you wouldn't rather have D-Hop than somebody that's unproven, that's just stepping into a number one role when you could have him there? Man, I'm telling you, the guy's hands, his route running ability, he's gonna get open. And inside the 20-yard line, you just throw it up to him.
Oh yeah,
And he's gonna
Oh,
come
yeah.
down.
That's his thing more than he's fast or quick or anything. Is
Yeah,
that
no,
the
he's
guy,
not gonna-
But here's the thing.
he catches the ball. He does
Yeah.
not drop the football.
he's got
Okay.
Velcro hands, man. If it's nearby, he's grabbing it.
So
But where do you
let's,
think he's going to
let's-
go?
let's
He
look
couldn't
into
find a
let's-
trade partner. Where's he going to go?
And that was it, right? It was a money thing. So now he can be signed for a lot less money. Maybe he sees that, okay, teams won't be willing to pay that kind of money for me. And a guy that spent so much time on shitty teams, does he go
I could
out?
see- no, man.
Yeah, let's look into a cocktails and curveball, little magic ball here. And what do we think is his future? Where do we think he's going?
I
Best
could
fits.
see him going the absolute worst place for me personally. Fan of the team that I'm a fan of, Buffalo. If
Buffalo.
D-Hop went to Buffalo, oh my good Lord. I mean, hey, boys, that makes that team scarier than they already are. I
Yeah.
mean, the AFC East is so damn strong, and you know, and I've heard rumblings, you know, on the internet, social media, that that's a potential. But
Big time.
I think because now he can pretty much sign with anyone, he's going to go where he can win. And you tell me
Yeah.
having Josh Allen as your quarterback isn't really intriguing. I think Buffalo is where he could end up, and it scares the hell out of me being a Dolphins fan.
Well, a couple things
I
on
have
that.
heard that talk.
Couple things on that. Let's just be really clear. Let's put the cards on the table. I agree with Jim. He's dangerous. He's got great hands. He can still run routes, and he's still going to put up numbers. But let me just throw some numbers out to you. So last year he caught 717 yards. The year before that, he had 570 receiving yards. In the last 2 years combined, he had a total of 11 touchdowns, 3 last year. So this is not me on my soapbox saying that he ain't shit or that he's not anything what he used to be. No, I disagree 100%. He is still a dangerous receiver, and I still think that he could go to a team and have a Pro Bowl year. Absolutely. But it's going to take him. He's not going to go to a team. And because of the value that he still has, he's going to have to go through, you know, the team with the worst record is going to pass on him, and he's going to have to make his way up because now he's a free agent. So he's not going to be able to just pick whatever team he wants to sign with. He could pick whatever team that, you know, that it's going to go from the worst place team to all the way up, and they're going to get first crack at him. That being said, I hope he goes to a team that already has an established number one, because he's not a number one anymore. If he goes to a team where it's him and 4 other receivers, he's not going to put up good numbers. I'm telling you right now, there's no way, man. He's going to have to go to a team with an established wide receiver group that's got a little bit of talent, and I think he could make the Pro Bowl again. But
I'll throw out a couple teams that I think would be very interesting. And to your point, Pat, sure, maybe he's not what he used to be, but how many times have we seen good quarterback play elevate?
sure, of course,
Not very good receivers. So,
of course,
New York Jets, another AFC East team.
That would be an intriguing fit right there. If he went and he had Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, that might blow the league away.
Another one, Kansas City.
Oof.
I don't think he makes it to Kansas City, man.
You
There's
don't
no
think
way.
so?
You mean to tell me there's gonna be 29 other teams that pass under DeAndre Hopkins
I don't
in order
know.
for Kansas City to sign? There's no fucking
Well,
way,
he's
man.
not hitting waivers, right?
Yeah, he's not in
He's a
waivers.
full-on free agent.
He's a free
He can
agent,
go wherever
dude.
he
He's
wants
not
to
in
go.
waivers. They released
Okay, but I know he's not on waivers, but still, he still has to go through. I was on because he got released by the Cardinals. He has to go through. You know, the teams with the worst record get the very first crack at him.
No,
That's
I don't
what
think so, man. I think he's a
I think he can go anywhere.
free agent.
I think he can go anywhere he wants to, and that's why Lee brought up that point about okay, so maybe he takes less money to go somewhere where he's going to win.
Right.
Well, what is he? Is DeAndre? Is he 31? Is he 31 years old now?
He's probably right around 30.
Probably.
Yeah, I think he's like 31. And I'm telling you, no different than what you brought up, Ty. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. I mean, if you're a receiver that, goddamn, where are you going to want to go? That's where you're going to want to go.
One more that I think could be really interesting, and this would be kind of to everybody's point that he wouldn't probably be the main focus. He's going into a really good wide receiver room, a quarterback that can sling it. Is San Diego.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Los Angeles.
No.
Los Angeles, not San Diego.
The Chargers. I knew where you were going because I was
not San Diego.
I need another beer, and then I would
sorry.
right away.
I still call them San Diego Chargers, but yes, the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego. That's enough. I mean,
hey, yeah,
that would be wild.
And again,
Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. New Hopkins.
It'll be fun.
I mean,
it'll be fun to see where he goes, because my best guess is it's going to be with an established, really, really good quarterback.
I think I think that's potentially a move that puts a fringe team, a fringe Super Bowl contender, because I think that's probably his move, right? It's not going to be a team like maybe the Lions. I don't see it
No,
because I think they're still maybe a year
Well,
or
that
two.
exactly, but that's why I thought Buffalo, because Buffalo's right
Right,
there.
but that Buffalo's,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely in play.
Well,
So,
what about a Cincinnati?
That would be
oh,
bullshit. I would hate
I
that.
mean, I'm just listen,
But
all I'm
yeah,
saying
but
is,
exactly,
fan?
yes, Pat, exactly to your point. Exactly what I'm saying though, with
I just hope
an already great receiver room, a
Right,
quarterback
right.
that at this point is proven, like that would be
that's what-
stupid.
that's what I'm talking about. Is I hope, and hopefully he goes in looking the right way. But I hope he goes in wanting to be with at least one other great receiver. I hope he doesn't
Yeah.
kid himself into thinking he's still 28 and God's gift to the receiver corps, because he's not. And I don't think, I'm not saying that he will think that way, but I just hope if he chooses the right team, he could have a ridiculous year this next year.
Yeah.
He really could.
So okay, so everybody,
NFL
give me the team. Let's hammer a one prediction. Where do you think DeAndre Hopkins lands?
I'm going to go wild card. I'm going to go wild card. Jacksonville.
Oh, you fucker. That's what I was
That's
gonna say, Jacksonville.
yeah.
I was gonna say Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. That's what I was gonna say.
They're getting Calvin Ridley back. They signed a bunch of guys. I mean, that would be wild. That'd be I think that's an awesome fit.
where do you think he's going, T?
You're looking at my crystal ball here.
I know where he's going.
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh
No,
shit!
He's not going to Baltimore.
They've been talking trade talks for him for years. Before he went to Arizona,
Yeah,
Baltimore
that was before they threw Lamar like $700 trillion though. So
they still have 12 million in the bank.
he's going to the Cowboys.
Have 12 million.
Hey, Jerry Jones is bringing them to Dallas.
Fucking A, that's
Oh.
okay. That's
Oh,
another good
do
one.
it.
Yeah.
Put him
That's
next
a
to
great
CeeDee
pick.
Lamb.
What do you think, Lee?
Oof. Oh, I think it's Buffalo. I think
Buffalo.
he's going to inevitably end up there. I really do. And yeah, I already said I think
That's where
going to be
that's
it.
where the talk seems to be going is Buffalo.
Well, but I mean, I just look at that team. I mean, and the talent they already have. They've been as close as you can get, and you add
wanna
one
play the
weapon
cold?
on the edge.
It's so cold.
Hmm?
They're right. It's so
I don't think
goddamn
he wants to
cold
play in the
there.
cold, man. He's even come
And
out
that
there
could be. That could be.
he's even come
Well,
out and blasted playing in the cold.
other thing about playing in New York is your taxes. And that
Yeah.
might,
Say goodbye to 45% of your fucking check, man.
but Gabe Davis, they don't have a number two. Gabe Davis was supposed to be that guy, and he just dropped too many balls last year. They're looking for somebody. And I don't know whether it'll be Hopkins or not, but I know Buffalo is looking to pad that receiver room a little more than what it is right now, for sure.
All right. Okay, well, we'll see. This will be fun. Do we want to make any bets on it?
No.
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 With the way the NFL and free agency and stuff works, I'm not betting
But
shit.
what'll happen is we'll get up one morning and he's a Houston Texan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
some fucking stupid,
Okay.
right?
You
Good
know,
for CJ Stroud.
right? But I mean,
Yeah.
it's NFL's so crazy. You don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Well, boys, we're about out of
Yes.
time. I got a couple things that I'd like to end the show with. First and foremost, though, I'd like to give you guys a chance at a curtain call. Something, someone, whatever you guys think is deserves the curtain call. Anybody have something, Lee?
Mine's how you started the show. Any man or woman that served our country and lost their lives on this Memorial Day weekend, I can't think of anything else to cheers to. Because without what those people do for us, we can't do this. So this weekend, especially because I've had family lost and family that served and still serve, and that's my curtain call, especially this weekend. So cheers to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers to that. Pat, you got one for us?
Yeah, well, he kind of took mine. I was going to give it up to the reason why we have a 3-day weekend. I don't want to hammer that home because I think it's all important that we acknowledge that. But on a different note, I do have it back up. I want to acknowledge Charles Barkley for calling out the press. I'm not sure if you guys followed, but he absolutely blasted the media for giving more credit, for giving more notice, more recognition to LeBron freaking James announcing that he might be retired than congratulating the Denver Nuggets. And you know what, Charles, I got your back. That's fucking bullshit, man. You know, they just got done sweeping LeBron James and the Lakers. And instead of talking about how great Jokic is and how well that Denver Nuggets team played, let's spend every dying minute talking about LeBron James might be done. I love that Charles Barkley called him out and said, that's bullshit, man.
Yeah,
You guys
I
are
heard.
talking about this
I
guy.
heard the
You
segment.
guys are
It was
talking
good.
about this guy, about retiring. You guys are just going to step right over the fact that Jokic had an amazing series and they just swept the Lakers. That's bullshit. So good for Charles for calling out the media. Well done.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to Charles Barkley, man.
Yeah.
He's a cool
Cheers
dude,
to-
he's like, yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Jim, you got one for us?
So yeah, I do. And guys, I can't say it any better than Ty, you opened the show up, and Lee with your curtain call. I can't say it any better than that. Just thank you, and please remember what this holiday is all about. You know, I know we're going to be barbecuing and everything else, and it tends to get lost what this is all about. But you're exactly right. We couldn't do this without the people that came before us and did what they did, made the ultimate sacrifice. With that being said, Charles Barkley, that's a great one. Patrick, I would like to invite everybody, man, just pull up Charles Barkley on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever, and just that guy put a smile on your face in the morning, just by being Charles. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
my curtain call is to the University of Oklahoma women's softball team. Down 7-4 yesterday, going into the 7th inning, and top of 7, Clemson had the home team, which, by the way, Clemson is only 4 years they've had women's softball, and they're already in the super regionals.
Damn.
Wow.
But Oklahoma, 47 straight wins, had tied Arizona for the most all time. Hadn't been beaten in the super regionals at home since 2014. And they're down to Clemson going into the 7th inning, 7-4. They come back to win in 9, 8-7, fellas.
Yeah, I seen that.
Moving on to the College World Series. So, man, just watching these girls, they're just tough. Never say they just won't quit. Man, it was just amazing. Down to 1 strike, 2 different times.
That's
And
amazing.
Kinsey Hansen hits a 3-run bomb to tie the game in the 7th. So
Good
my curtain call goes to the University of Oklahoma women's softball team.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers, man. Yeah, those are great.
Happy
guys.
Memorial
Those are
Day.
Happy
Happy
Memorial Day.
Memorial
Real
Day.
quick, before we get out of here, I would like to announce something fun for the people who have been having our backs here at Cocktails and Curveballs. For the people that have been constantly liking our stuff, sharing our stuff, commenting on our stuff, you know, it's huge. It's what's going to grow this into something that we think potentially it could be. So a very happy announcement here from the crew at Cocktails and Curveballs. We're going to start doing a segment called, and we're still workshopping this here a little bit, 5 for 5. So some of the people who, again, like I just said, you know, are doing a great job at supporting what we're putting out there. We're going to give you guys a chance to come on the show with us. We're going to give you 5 minutes. You're going to be our 5th guest, or the 5th member of our panel here. You get 5 minutes. You get to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Unless it's really bad, then we'll kick you out of here. But so start liking away, commenting, sharing. Got any questions? Hit us up with it. You know, everybody knows you can find us at this point at Cocktails and Curveballs on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's our Gmail account. It's Cocktails and Curveballs. So you want to be on the show? Let's see it, man. Show us some love.
Let's do
Make sure
this.
you subscribe and click that notification button on YouTube, because that's where it's at,
Absolutely.
boys.
Yep.
Cheers
Great
to all of that,
episode, guys.
gentlemen.
We'll talk soon.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy
Cheers.
Memorial